Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their court.
The fireworks are not done.
We're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican, boys. Verbal Latino.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for crumb's sake.
All right, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. It seems like we were just here. It is another crazy day in court as we are about to begin what we believe is the Donna Adelson case. We know it's the Donna Adelson case, but we think it's about to start tonight. Right now, they just barely seated a jury. The alternates have been selected. The extras were excused. The judge said, run to the bathroom and then get back here because we're getting started. Obviously, he doesn't care that it's almost 5 o'clock at night. He's got a schedule to keep, and we have to abide by it. So here we are. Welcome. Hope you were able to make the jump just fine. Thank you all for being here. Let me go ahead and bring in our view. Here we go. There's court. Let's see. Let's bring it in on 2, shall we? Source 3 will be 2. There we go. Audio set. And take 2. There we go. All right. We have our feed linked properly with audio. We're waiting now just for the judge to come back and I guess bathroom breaks to be over. But if you're not familiar, you're just standing around. This is the Florida case. Yes, we're finally out of Georgia. The last 3 were in Georgia. We're in Florida now. This is an incredible case. This is a wild case. If you think who's Donna Adelson? Right? If you're like, what's this trial about? There's a good chance you've probably heard about this one. And so as the opening statements begin, you'd be like, oh, Dan, yeah, Markle, I heard about that. Or, oh, this was the hitman for hire. Oh, the Charlie? Yeah, I knew about Charlie. And you probably know little bits and pieces. But you're going to need to buckle up and listen carefully to the opening statements because there is a lot at play here. This is a whole family that's accused basically in this or implicated, and a couple people have already been charged, tried, and found guilty and serving time, and possibly there are more people to be charged. A lot of people think Wendy's going to be charged here as soon as this trial's over, so we need to clarify where we're at. Oh, hang on. What are you talking about? Let's see. I didn't see what she posted. Oh no. We might be completely wrong. They might still need 4 jurors. If that's the case, opening tomorrow, that makes more sense. Do I sound robotish? You might want to refresh your YouTube. YouTube's been having some audio trouble. Here's what Kathy Resson said on X. She said 4 more jurors needed. If 4 more jurors are needed, it could happen pretty quick, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna hold off and wait on this because here's my concern. The judge just seated all the jury. Did we hear how many? Can somebody go back and count the number of jurors he just sat in the box? And he told them to come back in the box. Do they have too many still? Well, I give a break and only have 4. Was he just releasing that pool? No, he had them come in and moved them into the jury box and then told them to come back. Queen Olive Ruthann won the internet. Congratulations, Queen Olive. You are the winner of the internet. We're going to hold you accountable for everything IP related. If there's a problem, it's your fault. Please fix it before there's a problem so we don't have any issues. What if it's just to swear them in? He filled the dismissed spots with fresh people for questioning.
For our newly seated jurors, starting with 27 and going through 36,
Yeah,
I'm
we
going
need more.
to need to ask you some of the same questions that were asked to the group earlier.
Let's watch this for a little bit.
Concerning your prior jury service, any connection to the attorneys or the defendant, and also some brief biographical data from you. Once we've accomplished this, the attorneys will each have an opportunity to speak with you as well. I am not going to reread the law to you concerning the presumption of innocence, the right to remain silent, and the burden of proof. The law is fixed. Nothing has changed with it. Does anyone have any questions concerning the law that was previously read for jurors 27 through 36? Please raise your paddles if you have a question as to what the court read. Very well. I'm now going to ask 27 through 36 as a group, have any of you previously served on a jury? Please raise your paddles if you have. Juror 28, please tell us where and when you previously served on a jury.
In Leon County, approximately 18 or 19 years ago.
18 or 19 years
Do you
ago.
recall if it was a criminal or civil proceeding?
Criminal.
Do you recall the charge or the type of case?
Aggravated robbery.
Without telling us the verdict, did the jury reach a verdict?
Yes.
Yes.
Were you the foreperson of that jury?
No.
She was not the
Did
foreperson.
anyone else have their paddle raised for having previously served as a juror? No other paddles are being raised in response.
That's a nice chair, you must admit.
As to
Throw.
the attorneys on this matter, are any of you, and I'm referring to jurors 27 through 36, related by blood or marriage to any of the attorneys, or do you know any of the attorneys that were previously introduced this morning?
No, sir.
All right, no response has been given in the affirmative. Concerning the defendant, are any of you, 27 through 36, related by blood or marriage to the defendant, or do you know the defendant personally?
No, sir.
Concerning the names of the potential witnesses that were read earlier today, as to 27 through 36, do any of you know the witnesses that were identified by the parties?
No, sir.
And now I will go through your biographical information. Juror 27, what is your occupation or type of work?
Owner and operator of a online marketing agency.
Online marketing
Right.
agency, owner, operator.
You'll never get advertising better than this. Shout out that name. Go ahead, give us the name.
eVision Media Group. eVision Media Group.
What is your marital status?
Married.
What is your spouse's occupation if they work?
Physician assistant at Capital Regional.
Do you have children?
Yes, 2.
And what are their ages and do they work?
22 and 12. The 22-year-old does work, full-time student at UCF and is working at student housing.
And the 12-year-old is
crank it
just
up a
at
bit.
home?
Just that.
Yes, sir. How long have you lived in Leon County?
13 years.
Do you have any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
Close friends, yes.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
Yes, my brother was indicted, a federal indictment of fraud.
Fraud.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
Yes, my aunt was murdered, 17 years ago, and a close friend of mine was also murdered.
Close friends and an aunt were murdered.
A close friend of mine was also murdered.
Whoa.
Juror 28, what is your occupation or type of work?
I'm retired environmental manager.
That's the defendant with the headphones.
What is
She's
your
hard of
marital
hearing.
status?
Widow.
Do you have any children?
Yes, sir. 1.
She's widowed.
26 on Saturday, Sunday. Works for Civitech,
Right. How long have you lived in Leon County?
about 21 years, sir.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
No, sir.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
No, sir.
Have you, any close friends or any relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
No, sir.
Thank you. Juror 29, what is your occupation or type of work?
Project manager for a civil engineering firm in town.
Right. Once again, no better free advertising than what you have right now.
DRMP.
DRMP.
What is your marital status?
Married.
What is your spouse's occupation if they work?
She works with the Department of Health.
Do you have children?
Yes, 2, 8 and 12. They do not work.
Do they owe you money?
Yes.
Probably owe them money. No.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
All my life, 40 years.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
Yes.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
Yes, close friend.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
My wife's uncle was shot and killed probably 10 years ago.
Wife's uncle was shot and killed 10 years ago. 2 out of 3 so far have family members that were murdered. I thought it was good. I thought we were opening statements. We're
Juror
still in
30.
jury selection. 4 more
What is
jurors.
your occupation or type of work?
I'm unemployed, but I'm a social worker.
Social worker.
If you can say that again, they could not hear you.
Unemployed, but I'm a social worker.
Unemployed social
What
worker.
is your marital status?
Single.
Do you have any children?
No.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
Off and on for 11 years.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement? Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
No.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
My parents auto theft.
Thank you. She said her parents' auto theft. For everyone on the panel, if you can remember to do this, please speak up and speak clearly so you can be heard. Juror 31. What is your occupation or type of work?
Data analyst, Department of Transportation.
What is your marital status?
Single.
Do you have any children?
No.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
A year, 8 months.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
No.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
My brother has DUI.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
No.
Thank you. Juror 32, what is your occupation or type of work?
I work part-time at a restaurant.
What is your marital status?
Married.
What is your spouse's occupation if they work?
He's the owner of a restaurant in town.
Same restaurant.
Shout out that name.
Carrabba's Italian Grill.
Do you have any children?
Yes, sir, 2. I have a 17-year-old and an 8-year-old.
They work at the restaurant.
Right. Does your older child work?
He does not.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
8 years.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
Yes, sir, retired.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
I have a brother that was charged with DUI.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
Yes, we had a masked individual try to break into our home earlier this year.
Oh.
Thank you. Juror 33, what is your occupation or type of work?
Deliver and install appliances.
What is your marital status?
Single.
Do you have any children?
1.
What is your child's age?
9.
I assume they don't work.
Nope.
Nope.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
Day I was born.
Since the day I was born.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
Yes.
Have you, any close friends, relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
Yes.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
Yes.
Thank you.
Lots of
Juror
yeses there.
34, what is your occupation or type of work?
I operate our 2 family-owned businesses, For the Record Reporting and Bouncers of Tallahassee.
Bouncers of Tallahassee
What is
and
your
For the
marital
Record
status?
Reporting.
Married.
What is your spouse's occupation if they work?
He is a law enforcement officer of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Do you have children?
I do.
What are their ages and do they work?
16 and 13, and no, they do not work.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
36 years.
She does court
Do
audio.
you
That's
have
her
any
job.
close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
Other than my husband,
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
no, sir.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
No, sir.
Thank you. Juror 35,
does
what is
court
your
audio.
occupation or type of work?
Delivery truck driver.
She's gone.
Couldn't hear that, Your Honor.
Delivery truck driver. What is your marital status?
Married.
What is your spouse's occupation if they work?
Customer service coordinator for a truck company.
Do you have children?
No.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
3 years.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
No.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
No.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been a victim of a crime?
No.
Thank you. Juror 36, what is your occupation or type of work?
Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. I'm a fiscal specialist for the state of Florida. I actually work for People First.
Okay. You're not contagious, are you?
Oh, I hope not. It's
Go-
just
go-
from
go.
this cold air.
Go ahead and put that mask on then.
But I wanted y'all to hear me.
What is your marital status?
I'm single.
Do you have children?
I have one son, the age of 10.
And I assume he does not work.
No, sir.
How long have you lived in Leon County?
I'll just say I've been in Tallahassee for the last 17 years. I went back to Fort Pierce, Florida for a year or 2 for school, and then I came back. So I've been long enough.
Any close friends, neighbors, or relatives that work in law enforcement?
No, sir. My step grandfather was a state trooper, but he's retired now. That's the only officer that I'm aware of.
Have you, any close friends or relatives, ever been charged with a crime?
Not me, thank you God. But yes, I have it. My dad, my sister, and my brother. This was years ago. I'll say back in 2004 was my dad, and then 2005 and 6, my sister and brother.
We'll hear more about
Have
that
you,
soon.
any close friends or a relative, ever been a victim of a crime?
Not me, a friend has been, and that was basically, she was a minor, and I had to basically be summoned to vouch that someone violated.
Judge, I'm sorry.
If you can repeat that, go ahead.
So it was I'm just say a friend of the family. I was subpoenaed because she was minor, and I witnessed her being abused, and I'll just put it that way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Once again, for our newly seated jurors, I am not going to read the jury instructions concerning the burden of proof, presumption of innocence, and the right to remain silent. These concepts are static, they are fixed. The law has not changed on these matters since we've started the process. Is the state ready to inquire?
Yes, sir.
You may.
Thank you.
The state is really good here. You're going to like this lawyer. She's very personable.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Catherine Dugan. I'm representing the state of Florida in this case, along with Georgia Kappelman. I know y'all are tired, hungry. It's 5 o'clock. I'm going to try to be really quick. I want to go over just a couple of concepts with our new folks to see if y'all have any strong feelings about any of them. But if any of our original folks that are here in the first and second rows, if you have anything that you want to add, change your answers on, an idea that popped into your head, just raise your hand and let me know.
I like how they do that.
All right, so Ms. Kaplan talked about reasonable doubt. The state's burden in a criminal case is we have to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. We have to prove a crime was committed and that Mrs. Adelson is the person who committed that crime. And we talked about the definition of reasonable doubt. It's not a forced doubt, something you're making yourself believe. It's not a speculative doubt or a possible doubt. We could all sit around and come up with maybe this happened, maybe that happened. The doubt that you're having has to be reasonable. Does everybody understand? Okay. And we talked about why it's beyond a reasonable doubt, because it's impossible unless you're a witness to be convinced beyond all possible doubt of anything, okay? Hearing that though, do any of our new people feel that I understand what the burden is, but it should be higher than beyond a reasonable doubt? I would personally have to be convinced beyond all possible doubt in order to reach a conviction in a criminal case. Does anyone feel that way? First or second row or third row? Okay. And who decides whether the doubt you're having is reasonable to believe, given all the evidence in the case? Who decides that?
You do. You
guys do, right? Okay. And you do that thinking back on everything you heard in the case, using a totality of the evidence that you heard. We had a couple of people in when the defense was asking questions that some of you mentioned, Mrs. Adelson, maybe she did something to be charged, but and while I understand what you're saying, that's not something for you to consider in a criminal trial. The law is that she's innocent until proven guilty, and that it's the state's burden to prove the charges beyond any reasonable doubt to you all through the evidence you hear from the witness stand. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so that's something that should not be considered. The evidence in the case and whether it meets that burden is what y'all consider, okay? And speaking of evidence, if you're picked as a juror, your job is going to be to focus on that evidence. That could be physical evidence, like a picture you can hold, or it could be testimonial evidence. That's going to be a lot of what y'all are hearing. People are going to be coming up to the witness stand that may have knowledge or information about the case, or people who investigated the case. You're going to be listening to the words that they say, watching their body language, so that you all can determine the facts of the case and what happened here. And then you're going to apply what you've heard to the law Judge Everett gives you and render a verdict. One thing that Ms. Kappelman touched on is that it's not the jury's job to decide the sentence. Knowing that, though, is there anybody who feels that I just would not be able to reach a verdict if I didn't know what the sentence is going to be? Anybody on the first row or second row or third row? Okay. Another thing I thought about is, obviously this is a first-degree murder case, and when you hear first-degree murder and you talk about possible sentencing, sometimes people think death penalty. That's not something that's on the table in this case, or could ever be a possible sentence here. So just want to make that clear for everyone when we're talking about that, okay? And I didn't see anyone's raised hands, so everyone is okay leaving the sentence up to the law and to Judge Everett, and you all decide the verdict, right? Okay. We talked about the principles instruction. You guys heard the law on that, even though maybe you're not the person who pulled the trigger in the bank robbery example that Ms. Kappelman did with the court reporter. If you had the intent that trigger be pulled, if you did an act or said some word that encouraged or assisted the person who did the shooting, then you can be considered a principal and treated as if you were the person who pulled the trigger and did the shooting. Does that make sense? All right. Now, okay, so I have another example that if you are, let's say during a football game, if a quarterback throws a pass to a wide receiver, okay, the wide receiver catches it in the end zone, it's a touchdown. If scoring a touchdown is a crime, who is a principal to that touchdown? What do y'all think? Let me see. What do you think, Ms. Tolbert?
After what you just said, I'm confused, but I will say, I guess the guy catching the ball.
I think we're supposed to use their numbers.
Wide receiver.
We're supposed to use their numbers,
The ball to make
not their
that
names.
touchdown happen. He wants it. He's running, trying to catch it.
Struggling with the audio as well. It's been a long day of these mics working, and now suddenly they're not. So I was wrong. We thought we were going to have opening statements, but they do need 4 more jurors. They've moved everyone into the jury box and brought in some extras.
Okay. Is he doing an act or saying a word to assist that touchdown?
The person blocking or the person throwing the ball?
The person blocking.
He's doing his position. He's doing what he's supposed to do with the game. I'm confused.
Okay. Okay.
It's confusing.
I gotcha. Okay, so if the person blocking is doing an act of blocking so that the touchdown can be scored, and he wants that touchdown to be scored, is he a principal?
Because he's allowing it to go.
Okay. Does everybody agree with Ms. Tolbert there? Oh, she said.
We keep turning the audio down because prosecution keeps saying names. We're not supposed to say names. We're supposed to say numbers. Now we got kicked out. We can't be here. We can't be here if she keeps saying names. Donna's wearing headphones because she's hard of hearing, and they assist her. They turn up the volume in court. I love it when a defendant is wearing headphones because they have every right to hear everything that goes on in the case, right? This is their trial. They have the right to participate in all substantive, things that happen. And if the audio is bad, they can't hear. And so we get good audio because the defendant can't hear. I love it for that reason. All right, we might be done. We might be done if they're going to do that. Here's what we anticipate. Opening should be tomorrow morning. They've got another. They've brought in more jurors, more potential jurors. They're going to go through the process through both the prosecution and the defense, and then sit in the back room and talk it over. I believe they only need 4 more. And so they've got 11 seated. They would need 1 more for a full panel. So they get 12 jurors who would deliberate and then have 3 alternates, and they would be ready to go. We don't get to see this very often unless we're like in Thurston County, the jury selection process, and we don't get to see it at all when the prosecutor uses the names of the potential jurors. So I understand about the names, but any other channels showing this, but we'll have the names. We're showing what everyone else has as well. It's not me editing it out. This is the pool feed is being edited. That's the direction of the judge gives. Now the judge has done a couple things that I think in hindsight he'll regret. And one of them is having people shout out their family-owned businesses. Because if you want to identify somebody, just shout out your family-owned business. That's a quick way to find out who it is. But because of that, we're going to be down here probably for the count on this one. What's this case about? It's a murder trial. It's a hired hitman murder trial over a custody dispute. It's crazy, and it involves the whole family. Did a seating chart in the Canva Adelson file. Awesome. It's an old murder of a lawyer. Dan Markle was the victim. I think that's it. I think because they are not doing opening statements tonight, we're going to wrap it up. We have a podcast tonight at 8 o'clock, which is going to happen in 2.5 hours. So if you haven't been here before for a podcast, please do show up. It'd be a lot of fun. I'll actually see if I can make a portal between now and when we actually end. There we go. We'll see if we can do this. If not, we can portal, but it's a long time. Do you know the football analogy she's getting at? Yes, she's talking about, in this particular case, the state is not going to say that Donna Adelson pulled the trigger, that she was the gunman, that gunned him down, because she wasn't, right? But she was involved, allegedly, in the planning, the pre-work, the lining everything up, the arranging for it. And the state is just talking about that legal principle where if you are a party to something and you participate in it, like if you're the driver, the getaway driver, and in a robbery and somebody gets shot, guess what? You as the getaway driver, you might not have actually entered the bank, but because a guard was shot, you're now charged with attempted murder. You're on the team. You fought for this outcome. It may not have gone exactly the way you wanted, but you would be guilty as well. Let's see. Yeah, Villanova as well. Another active. I was looking at that. We've got pictures and stuff coming on Twitter on that as well. It's not just guilt by association. It's guilt by participation, I think would be a better way to put that. You all get painted with the same brush as far as charges go. So the worst charge that can be brought on all the players in this can be brought on everybody. And just because you didn't pull the trigger doesn't mean you're not guilty of the murder itself. That's what she's doing. And she's using football to teach the analogy that the guy who makes the block is just as guilty of there being a touchdown as the guy who made the touchdown. So, all right. Here we go. I'm trying to get the podcast lined up so we'll have something to portal to, but I don't think I'll have it ready. What do you think? What do you think the word of the trial will be? Conspiracy? I don't know. If there's a word that keeps being played, it might be fun to count that one. We do count something interesting in every trial. It sort of keeps us entertained during some of the slower parts. Like if they have to teach us how a cell tower works again, or what DNA is, and you get half from your mom and half from your dad. There's some parts that are a little slower, and so counting things like that are always fun. But give us suggestions. Maybe tomorrow. Let's get some suggestions on what to count. Want to count the judge's jokes? Oh my goodness! Starting with opening statements. All right, let's count the word extortion. Count bump. Haywell says, trust me on extortion. You're going to want to count that one. All right, tonight, please join us for the Not Relevant podcast. Thomas and I will be talking about all things not true crime related, but fascinating, interesting, or fun in the world of news around the world. So, no portal. I don't have a portal set up. I'll build a thumbnail and open the placeholder for it here in just a little bit. Podcast is going to be at 8 right here. Please join us. And then tomorrow, of course, we're going to be back with, well, first, the Wolfenbarger trial. We're going to find out what happened with the missing witness. Was she able to be rounded up by the sheriff overnight? Is she in custody? Is she on the run? How that's going to end, and then we also have the openings for Donna Adelson, which we're gonna pick up as soon as that starts as well. So tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. To go live again tonight at 8 p.m. for the podcast right here on this channel. Please hit the like button on the way out if you would. That would be nice, and then hit the like button on the way in as well on the next one. So we appreciate that. It helps the channel a ton. Big shout out to all of our moderators who are amazing. This would not be possible without them. They keep this all copacetic and fun and running. And thank you one and all. I think that's it. I already said tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. We'll go live again at 8 p.m. tonight. That's it. All right, we'll see you tonight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
trying to have court. Don't raise your voices.
Have them send someone with more experience.
In front of the wall.